The 273 Mini Adamas. Get 2021 Benchmade mini version of a full-size knife they make. Pretty cool. Crew wear. The old 273. And I guess we can act like this is a manual. That's the auto version. Beautiful knife, but I figured I'd pull it out here for comparison. I've also got Old Faithful here. Alright, so some specs on this bad boy. It's 7.62 inches overall. Blade length is 3 1/4. And the blade width, for what it's worth, is 1 1/4. Blade thickness is 1400ths. Handle length is 4.37 inches. And the weight is 4.6 ounces. So that's kind of, we can compare that to the Griptilian. Griptilian is 8.07 overall, so it's a little longer. Try to get a better angle at this. It's alright, it's kind of like, I didn't really want to stand up because I'm on days off. I'm taking a break. I'm kind of kidding. I could have stood up, but I'm being lazy. So anyway, let me do this, I guess. Gotta get a view of that. This one's longer, it's just go ahead and accept it. Blade length is 3.45, so 3 1/4, almost 3 1/2, so 1/4 inch difference in length. 1200ths blade, 1400ths here. 4.62, 4.37. Handle thickness is 6400ths. I'm pretty sure the handle thickness of this is 6500ths. Actually, it might be, it's a little thinner actually than the full size. All right, that's about it. So I kind of pulled this Griptilian out because, people don't normally, most people I don't think want a full size knife to be carrying with them every day. So this is kind of Benchmade's answer for the guys that like that design but don't want that full-size knife. There it is. And it is a chunky bastard, but still good cutting geometry. I honestly have not used it a whole lot, if at all. I've used the heck out of this, and it does have a broader blade. So this is a 1 1/4. They say this is probably closer to 1 1/2, honestly, width-wise. And so this has seen a lot of use, and I haven't even sharpened it yet, or touched it up even. This one, like I said, hasn't seen any. In fact, it still has the price sticker residue on it. I just got it, and it has not seen a bit of use. Probably won't either, honestly, for a while anyway. Like, I just got it because I liked it. But competition for it, Griptilian. So you got $212, pretty much going rate online, and I don't know, these are normally 110. I think it looked, this thing is up for 127 now, if you can believe that. Blade HQ, they're sold out of most of them, I think. And then if you want a G10 version, it's 187. So 187 G10 Griptilian with, what's it got, S20V steel, and this is theoretically S30V, and plastic Grivery handle is 127, or 212 for the definitely better steel and newer design. A little smaller package too, overall. Yeah. So, yeah, that guy I work with just bought a Benchmade Mini Osborne. Those, 'Osborne. 'Those, 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 ' what are they? I can't remember. Those green animal ones. Anyway, he bought the mini version of it. And he already broke the tip because he's kind of a knucklehead. But maybe if you would have bought one of these, it's a little thicker tip even than that, I can't remember the name of that Osborne. You know, the green handled aluminum one. But you got the mini version of it. This is a little thicker tip, I would assume, even though that does have that reverse tonneau. This is a little bit beefier. So if you want to be carrying a smaller knife, but still need a beefy blade on it, here's your answer. And I think it slices. I'm assuming it slices pretty well because this one honestly does. It's not the greatest slicer, but it's not bad. It's got pretty good cutting geometry for how thick and burly this thing is. It honestly does. And it's got the gray tungsten coat on it. This one I think is just like tan Cerakote or something. I think they call this gray tungsten or tungsten Cerakote. I don't know. I brought this out because this has seen a shitload of use in the last month as well, and it's holding up. That coating is holding up pretty good. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. I'm not sure if that's kind of wearing a little bit on the sides or if that's just stuff that's on there. Because it has cut a lot of wood and a lot of other, like a little bit of cardboard, some plastic, you know, some rope, whatnot. But I whittle and stuff with it like a lot during the day, you know, something to do. The only thing, I don't know if it's going to turn out. Oh, yeah, you can probably catch it right there. That's just from being in my pocket. And then, I don't know, if something's rubbing on it, maybe. So that's starting to come off. Anyway, I'm just showing that just so people know. Otherwise, pretty badass knife. One thing I have ran into, I think I mentioned the review I did on this one was, and I'm just putting it in there for these. This one's been fine. I've actually had this one the longest. This one probably has, honestly, the most use on it, but I have had this one the longest. And no problems with it. None, as far as I know, none of the bolts, none of the hardware in here had a Loctite. And I already lost this. I'm not really sure what these things are. If they're like caps, it's kind of weird. You know, they're like a nut, but it must be round, so it's not like it. So I don't know if it. I don't think this bolt actually. I think this bolt just goes into that standoff because it's tight. I checked it; it's tight, but this thing came out, so that's kind of weird. So that's. I'm not really sure if I really like that. In fact, I don't. So I'm not sure what these are. Anyway, I've just pointed out for anybody that might get one of these down the line. I probably check the hardware to make sure because it's got a really strong opening. And I'm just saying for all knives when you get them, even this one hasn't seen use. Maybe I'll check it too. It's a nicely threaded pivot bolt, though. I'll say that. I mean, it's very fine. Like there's lots of threads on it. So that's cool, but I definitely had to put some Loctite on it and then checked all these. Some of them were kind of loose, but I tightened them up, snugged them up real good. And then this one was actually snug tight. So I'm not really sure what the hell this is all about. Anyway, just pointing it out. The coating on these is good. So the coating on this same tungsten, Cerakote, whatever it is, should be good as well. So that's a positive. And of course, then you got the old trusty axis. But let's kind of throw this out there again so you kind of get a better view of it. Not much I can really say, except for I love the design. Honestly, in the end, I prefer the full size. I realize this is an auto, this is a manual, but even if this was a manual, I still prefer that bigger size. I mean, it's, you know, some people are probably used to it. I just don't think you get better torque if you're actually using this out in the field with that bigger handle. So I probably would personally not have it. It's a cool knife, so I know it's got a purpose. You know, some people don't like full-size knives and one of the smaller ones, so that's great. I'm glad they made it. But here's your kind of comparison for anybody that's interested. And then, of course, the Griptilian, you know, so in the end, if you're after more of a slicey knife, Old Faithful here, it's going to cost you $100 less. And then even if you got the G10 version, it's still going to cost you $30, probably somewhere around $30 less for stainless steel. That S20V is more stainless than this Crewware. I'd imagine, though I haven't had any rust issues at all. That's just pitch on the coated part there. Another thing I can mention real quick is I have been working in the area of the very famous lake, and I go for a swim every morning. And this is that CPM D2, which actually I'm pretty happy with. I did touch it up. We swung in Cabela's one day, and this one was getting dull. It's kind of laid over. I'm not sure why. Just had that factory edge on it, and I had cut up some steaks on plates, so I kind of had a burred up side. One side is burred up, but I was using a work sharp, kind of like a sharp maker. They're like a demo sharpener they had set out. I just touched this up real quick, and it got right back to being sharp. So I like the edge. And then also I swim with this in my pocket every morning, and there is absolutely zero corrosion on here, though I do use it, throughout the day, but I don't dry it off. I haven't oiled it or nothing. So I know this video is on this knife here, but sorry, it's going to make a little appearance. And it's just like an ode to Benchmade's quality besides that. But I've actually had this a little longer. I've carried it more days, but it hasn't seen as much use of that. But still, at the same point, I do open it up quite a bit when I am carrying it, kind of playing with it a little bit. That coating is starting to come off there, probably from rubbing on something in my pocket. Not coming off anywhere where I've used it. It's awesome. So, kind of your choice. Personally, me, like getting back to weights, this is what is it? What did I come up with for the plastic? 3.82 ounces for this, and then this guy was 4.6. So almost an ounce difference here. You do get a little longer blade. Probably a better slicer, honestly. Maybe not. Who knows? I haven't put a calipers on this one. In fact, the calipers I have only go up to hundredths anyway, so that wouldn't tell me a whole lot. But this one slices well. This one's just a little bit better. Not as good as this. This is definitely by far the most... look at that. I got an ant on there. I'm outside, and I got bugs all over the place, but that is an ant. A little sugar ant or something. Yeah, and then one more is the Mini, or the Rat 2. Yeah. So you kind of see a little bit of a comparison there for size. I think this is going to hit the sweet spot for a lot of people, honestly. Just not me. I think it's a cool knife. It's just, God, if I was going to carry something smaller, this is smaller yet. And then you always have that bailout, which I really love. I don't get to carry that enough. There you go. All right. Got a couple other knife videos on the way at some point. It's still fire season. I'm still busy, but they're going to be Benchmades, all of them. All right. Y'all have a good day, and thank you for watching.